Good afternoon, everyone. If you're new to my page, welcome. I know I've got a couple new subscribers that are just now on there. I haven't really been posting very many videos lately because I've been rather busy, but I did get asked a little bit in general, like kind of random things I've been getting asked lately. So I kind of just wanted to answer some of those and do a little video on about our elk teeth after we get them and what I do with them. A lot of times I give them away. Most of the time, a lot I give them away to, like the last quite a few of them I gave to my boss for their regalia that they're putting together. So they're always good, memorable presents, I guess, too, like birthdays or anything. So I got asked to show how I take care of them. So that, to kind of go over to, before I get into more into that, a lot of the cow calls I've been using have been Stan Rowden's game calls. He customizes them for me. They are different colors. I fell in love when I met this guy. I fell in love with his calls, so I used him all the time. Here's one of my only problem about this one, which is it's not really a negative thing, is that when you drop it, this one's probably gone, but I never take it off my neck. I sleep with these even, so I'll probably do some more of I got asked to do some calling too, so I will save that for a different video. I always have to have a headlamp on. I sleep with this too, my headlamp, because I always need it. It's always waking up in the dark and going to bed in the dark. We're doing cutting, so I always have my headlamp on. It's 50 bucks or so. It's a black diamond headlamp, so it's what you probably mostly see around my neck all the time. I get asked all the time about my knives too. So my knives are the Mercer 6-inch curved boning knife that I use. It's really unique because normally if I see this in your truck, then I know it's mine, that you took it from me. Just kidding. So I like the curve because when I'm cutting, it has that nice flow to it. Some people will get the straight, but I'm a hardcore fan of this one. I don't really move outside of it unless the only thing is I don't have a sheath. I say that right? Sheath to go with, like pack it around. So I've tried doing that. It's rather dangerous running around with this stuck in your pocket. Believe me, I do it in my pouch pocket. So you can order these on Webstront, but their shipping is rather expensive. So if you can go on Amazon, if you can find them for around 12 bucks, it's a good deal. But if you start getting in the 14s, look at the shipping and everything else too. And I always try to order them like 10 at a time or something, so I'm not getting killed on the shipping and anything like that too. So that's what I use primary for everything except my cutting and my fish. Kind of calls that I was getting asked to are Primos hyperplate. I can manipulate these really well with any call, to lost cow call, to cow calling, to spike bugle, to the herd bull, or anything like that. I can use it for, it's just my all-around favorite call. It hits those pitches that sound really good. That a lot of times you can tell people when they're bugling with the mouth reed or using a tube, you can hear and tell. I'm the same way, you can still tell, but like it can fake you out really good too if you're not paying attention and you're just hearing my calling. So now, let's get into the elk teeth. So I've harvested an elk, and I have the 2 teeth, and I got asked how to take those out, so maybe I'm gonna just have to try to get in the field and do some all around recording. So maybe this weekend. The other thing too I got asked was quartering, quartering, and then how to gut. So maybe if I can get something, I can concentrate on that this weekend. So right now I'm gonna just stick with I know I always start rambling on and then I start talking about other stuff, but I'll try to keep on doing our elk teeth. Now the one peroxide that, well, peroxide that I like to use is the 40. Now sometimes people will go into the store and just get your regular peroxide. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just kind of picky with this. What you do is go to the hair salon and pick it up. It's not my stylist, but our local hair salon, she's like, oh, you must be hunting again. So this is what I will use too when I'm boiling your skulls. This is another one that you want to use. I would recommend this to use it. Now now since I'm not sitting over a water faucet or anything like that, and I don't want to move over, so I'm just gonna add a bottle of water. Actually, I don't even need the whole bottle. One thing too is that you want to pay attention to these. Let the water boil first, so your teeth don't stick to the bottom, or you want to pay attention, not wander off, because I've done it before. I come back and the water's evaporated and then your teeth get burned. So anything that you're trying to I guess you're trying to do up or look really nice, you might as well put in all the effort into it, and just don't go halfway and also be lazy about it, because then you're gonna have lazy results. So make sure that you pay attention to your teeth. You don't need a whole lot. That's probably too much, but I will do that. I'll put them in there, and then I'll add my teeth, and then I'll stick them on the boiling pan, and then onto the oven. So I will, when I finish that up, I'll come back and then show everybody how it's going on the teeth. Oh yeah, one other thing too, is I got asked about the sharpeners. I use the Smith's sharpener all the time in the field. I wouldn't recommend making a habit like I do, because it chews up your knife really fast, but at the same time, when you're trying to move and try to get things done, I always use these. My cousin got me I can't remember what it's called, but it's something that's better. It has a belt on it and everything that does them up really nice. But this is what I use in the field and when I'm in a hurry. So if you don't do that, use something where it won't chew your blade away too. So I wanted to make sure. I think that was everything. Oh, no, it's not everything. Okay, so I got asked too about the heads. Well, when you're skinning your skulls, I would recommend the Havilons and the littler ones, because they can really get in and out, and then you can switch the blades out. But the only thing is, when you hit the bone, then they're done. We always talk about it too when we're in the mountains. Don't hit you hit that bone. So that's what this is what it's probably about. We go it's probably a 3-incher if I remember right, measuring it. So this is what I use for anything that has to do, and be careful with these things. These are things you don't want to whip around, because they will mess you up. I mean, me and my cousin are always saying, don't be swinging that around. You don't want to go to the clinic, so be careful. So that was the other thing that I used too. So okay, now I think that's everything. So now I'll get to boiling my teeth, and then I'll come back here in a second. Alright, approximately let it sit in there for about 10 minutes roughly at high. One of the things too is that you want to make sure that your water's boiling before you put your teeth in. So I was kind of giving an example, because we don't want it to, or have the oven on, so we don't want it to stick to the bottom of your pot and then get stuck down there. So for the most part, you don't want to put too much peroxide. Be careful when you grab these. They're going to be hot, so I would let them cool down a little bit, but to give everybody an idea. Now I don't want to ruin the tooth itself by like the glaze it's having. So you'll notice all the meat fell off, but yet it still has the primary color to it. Then it kind of whitened up on the side a little bit too. So then this one will have a lot more meat on it, so I'll have to work on this one a little bit. And for the most part, it's just coming right off anyway. So Just be careful with your knife. And you can peel it. This one probably can go a little bit longer, but since we're doing, I'll show it to you. Use my fingers. And scrape it up. But I won't go into like all of it, but to give you an example too, so you can just, what I'm doing is just peeling off the meat. And then I don't have to use the knife so much. I don't want to really mess up my teeth by scraping them either, so I can use my thumb. Take some work. Whatever else you could find that might be easier for you to peel off. Probably could use a spoon. I was trying to think of something that might be smaller and easier to scrape off. But this is how I've always done it. Alright, I'm going to rinse this off too. Peroxide's cleaning my hands as we talk. I didn't even grab anything to wipe my hands off, so I'll wash them off real quick. And then here we have the other one, and it's nice and done too, so I like the color it has too, so I'll probably work on this one a little bit more, just to get the rest of it off. But I mean, overall, there's just like a little gap in there that it's coming off looking better. So I'm gonna let that sit in there a little bit longer. But that's about how we do it. Normally I'll find someone that will do this like earrings or necklaces, but a lot of times I just give them to people like that after I've got them all done up. So wrapping this video up, I didn't want to take a whole lot of time, but it always it never works out that way, because I start talking and then I don't stop talking because I want to tell more stuff. So I'll try to keep it within that little time frame, but that's how I clean up my elk teeth and whatnot. So, all right, happy hunting, everybody. Stay safe out there too.